Forests are essential for human life. They cover about 31% of the Earth's land area and play a crucial role in maintaining ecological balance. They provide us with oxygen, which is vital for our survival, water, which is essential for all living beings, and timber, which is used for building and various other purposes. They are also home to a diverse range of plants and animals, many of which are not found anywhere else on Earth. For centuries, forest communities have lived in harmony with nature, relying on the forest for their livelihood and cultural practices. They have developed sustainable ways of using forest resources, ensuring that the forest remains healthy and productive for future generations. However, colonialism disrupted this delicate balance, bringing with it new challenges and pressures. The arrival of colonial powers marked a turning point in the history of forests and society, as they sought to exploit these natural resources for economic gain. Colonialism brought new demands for timber, land and revenue, leading to widespread deforestation and environmental degradation. This led to the exploitation of forests on an unprecedented scale, with long-lasting impacts on the environment and local communities. The traditional knowledge and practices of local communities were disregarded, leading to conflicts and a loss of cultural heritage. Before colonialism, forest communities had their own ways of managing forests. These practices were based on generations of experience and a deep understanding of the local ecosystem. Shifting cultivation, also known as swidden agriculture, was one such practice. In shifting cultivation, small patches of forest were cleared and cultivated for a few years. Then the land was left fallow, allowing the forest to regenerate. This method ensured that the soil remained fertile and the forest ecosystem was not permanently damaged. Colonialism brought significant changes to forest management, altering the landscape and the lives of those who depended on it. The British, for instance, viewed forest primarily as a source of revenue and raw materials, disregarding the ecological balance. They introduced commercial forestry, which involved large-scale logging operations to meet the demands of industrialization, leading to deforestation. The British also enacted forest acts that restricted the traditional rights of local communities over forests, causing widespread resentment. These acts declared large tracts of forests as reserved forests, where access was controlled by the state, limiting local usage. This led to the displacement of forest communities and the loss of their livelihoods, disrupting their cultural and social fabric. The colonial legacy continues to shape the relationship between forests and society today. Colonial powers often exploited forest resources for economic gain, disregarding the ecological balance and the needs of indigenous communities. This exploitation has left a lasting impact on forest ecosystems and the people who depend on them. Deforestation, biodiversity loss, and climate change are some of the long-term consequences of colonial forest policies. These policies prioritized short-term economic benefits over sustainable management, leading to the degradation of vast forest areas. The loss of biodiversity has disrupted ecosystems, making them more vulnerable to climate change. The displacement of forest communities also had profound social and cultural impacts. Many indigenous peoples were forced to leave their ancestral lands, losing not only their homes but also their cultural heritage and traditional knowledge of forest management. However, the colonial period also witnessed resistance movements against exploitative forest policies. These movements were often led by local communities who understood the importance of preserving their forests for future generations. The Chipko movement in India is a powerful example of how local communities fought to protect their forests. Women played a crucial role in this movement, physically placing themselves between the trees and the loggers to prevent deforestation. The post-colonial era has seen a growing awareness of the importance of sustainable forest management. Efforts are being made to restore degraded forests and implement practices that balance ecological health with human needs. There is a greater emphasis on community participation and the need to balance conservation with the needs of local communities. By involving local people in decision-making processes, sustainable forest management practices are more likely to succeed and be maintained over the long term.